Everything you were told about starting a business isn't outdated. It's wrong. The people who notice this are already building. The rest, they're still researching. Still waiting for conditions that will never arrive. There are 5 things that changed fundamentally, regardless of what kind of one-person business you're building. I'll go over them today, including the formula in Reason 4, how this actually runs. If you're new to the channel, my name is Gunay. I've spent about 20 years in tech and consulting, and I currently work at Google on AI and digital transformation. I started this channel to share what I'm building, what I'm learning, and what actually works today. For a long time, the tools we built moved information around. They stored data, triggered workflows, connected systems, generated reports, right? But the thinking, the part that looks at the situation and says, here's what this actually means, and here's what you should do about it, that still lived inside people. Usually expensive people, consultants, analysts, senior hires that you couldn't afford. You could automate the mechanical parts, but the layer that took raw information and turned it into clarity, that required humans with experience. That changed, and it makes everything else possible. Now, you can package judgment directly into software, and most people don't realize this yet. If you understand how to think through a particular problem, if you've spent years developing a way seeing things that actually help people, you can now encode that thinking into something that runs without you. Not as a static checklist, as a living system that analyzes, prioritizes, and recommends. Instead of handing someone a dashboard full of numbers and hoping they figure it out, you hand them clarity. Here's what matters, here's what to ignore, here's your next move. This is software doing what advisors do at a fraction of the cost. But here's what makes this different from every other AI will change everything claim. A year ago, going from how to solve this to I have software that solves this took months and a developer. Now, it takes a weekend of vibe coding by yourself. That's the first shift. The second one is personal, and you might recognize yourself in it. You've thought about turning your ideas, expertise, knowledge into something you own, a startup, a side business perhaps. But every time you start down that path, you hit the same wall. You don't have time to build an audience from zero. You don't have money to hire developers. You look at what successful people in this space are doing, and it seems to require quitting your job to become a full-time entrepreneur. And that's the trap. You decide to play it safe, build it at nights, over the weekends. Let it run for a few months to see if it hits. You research, you bookmark articles, and create a checklist of things to do, but you never actually start. You tell yourself you'll begin when you have more clarity, more savings, more certainty. You blink, a year is gone, then 3. Sounds familiar? Here's the part that stings though. You're still exactly where you were, except now you're watching people with half your depth building businesses around the same problems you could solve in your sleep. What used to stop you, no time, no team, no audience, that layer has collapsed. And that's the second shift. The third one is the math that makes all of this viable. 5 years ago, building for a small market rarely worked. Even if you had a perfect solution, you still needed development time, design help, customer support, marketing. The fixed cost required scale just to survive. Today, one person can build something focused for a small audience and make the math work. 1,000 people paying $50 a year is $50,000. 500 people paying $100 is the same. 100 people paying $500, the same outcome. That's not an audience. That's a neighborhood. You probably already know half of them. For one person with AI handling operations, that's a real business. Not a business that requires you to scale to survive. A business that's sustainable at its current size. And this is just the floor, not the ceiling. Jad Masad, who founded Replit, had said something that stuck with me. He believes we're going to see $50 million revenue businesses built by one person in the next few years, not valuation, revenue. There's a solo founder who built a tool that turns voice notes into structured content. Transcription exists, note-taking exists. He saw a gap between them, priced it low. 4 months later, 3,000 users, $5,000 a month, one person. So what does this actually mean for how you build? The math tells us you don't need to go wide, you can go deep. One problem, one audience, solve it completely. The most interesting solo businesses right now feel narrow, almost uncomfortably narrow. One specific problem for one specific group of people. They're calm and focused, The founder isn't trying to conquer a market, they're trying to serve their people. That's 3 shifts. Now let's get into the formula that ties it all together. Here's what actually makes this possible. Not AI as a buzzword, but a specific way of thinking about it. 4 layers, and that's it. First, AI handles the intelligence layer, the reasoning, the analysis, the judgment that used to require expensive humans or years of experience. You can now build that into your product. The tool thinks, so your customer doesn't have to. Second, agents handle execution. All the monitoring, preparation, follow-through that used to eat your time and attention, the things you had to remember to check, the follow-ups you needed to send, the patterns you were watching for, that operational overhead can now run without you. The first 2 are about capability, if you haven't noticed. The next one is about reach. That takes me to the 3rd layer, content, that handles the distribution. I'll be direct. You cannot build something in 2026 without a content engine. It doesn't matter how good your product is. If nobody knows you exist, none of it matters. But content doesn't mean what most people think it means. It's not becoming an influencer. It is demonstrating expertise in public, showing how you think, building trust before anyone pays you. Find the formats that work in your space, make them yours, show up consistently. 4th layer. This is the one AI can't replace, which is you. You handle judgment, the decisions about what problems matter, who to serve, what to build, what to ignore. 4 layers, 1 person, and their judgment. Notice what's not on this list. A technical co-founder, outside funding, a big team, a tolerance for financial risk. These prerequisites became optional. Advantages became table stakes. What's left that actually differentiates you? Your taste, your judgment, your willingness to choose. One of these layers gets skipped more than others. Interestingly enough, it's the one everything else depends on. The most important thing when building with AI is not the product. It is distribution. Everyone wants to build, nobody wants to be visible. I get it. It feels like asking for attention, like the work should speak for itself. But here's what content actually does when you do it right. Content does 3 things. And the 3rd one is the reason most businesses fail without it. First, it surfaces real problems. When people reply, comment, message you, they tell you exactly where the friction is. What confuses them, what they have tried that didn't work. This is market research that you didn't have to pay. The second, it builds trust, not through claims, through consistency. You show up, you say things that resonate, you demonstrate you understand their world. Over time, that turns into trust, the kind that can't be manufactured. And the 3rd one is actually what makes the economics work. It pre-qualifies your audience, the people who stick around, who engage, who keep coming back. They're telling you something. They're telling you they're your people. When you have things working, you're not guessing what to create. You're not hoping someone notices. You have a feedback loop that I call the build flywheel. Attention flows, problems surface, solutions get built, and revenue follows. Without it, you're invisible. No product quality solves that. That's 4 reasons. The 5th is the one people who are still waiting to be ready don't want to hear about. This isn't permanent. Shifts like this open windows, and they don't stay open. Here's what nobody talks about. The people who move early develop judgment before the playbooks exist. The people who wait enter markets that are already crowded. Right now, most people are still confused about what any of this actually means. They are overwhelmed by the noise, waiting for clarity that will never come from research. That confusion is your window. Imperfect action taken early always beats polished action taken late. The playbooks get written by people who move first. By the time you're reading one, they're 3 years ahead of you. We covered 5 shifts. Number 1, judgment can now be packed into software by vibe coding and no-code tools. Number 2, the gatekeepers are gone. You don't need permission to start. Number 3, the math works at small scale. 1,000 people is enough. Number 4, 4 layers replace what used to require teams. AI, agents, content, you. That's all you need. Number 5, this window won't stay open forever. Confusion is your advantage, but only temporarily. Knowledge isn't the bottleneck. Action is. You're not missing anything. You're deciding whether to move. The window is open. What happens next is up to you. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Give a thumbs up if you found the breakdown useful. If you're interested in additional details, I put a link below in the description. Check it out. As always, thanks for your support. I'll talk to you next time.